Skull Rock. While it may look like something out of a Halloween setup, Skull Rock is actually an entirely natural phenomenon. This granite boulder is located in California's Joshua Tree National Park and has depressions that make it resemble a skull, likely caused by collected floodwater and rainwater. The end result looks rather eerie, and it can be visited by venturing through a relatively light 2.8-kilometer-long nature trail in the park. Number 5. Heart Rock Falls. If you go on a forest hike in Crestline, California, you can come across a stunning sight. That's because at the end of a trail, there's a waterfall that features a distinct heart-shaped pool. While it may look man-made, it was actually caused by water erosion over time. In any case, it makes for a great photo op and is visited by romantics and explorers alike. Best of all, if you get bored, there's a pool downstream that's known for skinny dipping, making it a cool place to go if you're looking for a bit of extra fun. Number 13. The Moraki Boulders. So while most beaches are filled with sand, New Zealand's Otago coast is instead home to a bunch of almost perfectly spherical boulders. Occurring either isolated or in clusters, each boulder weighs several tons, and it's up to 2 meters high. They formed about 65 million years ago due to the hardening of the Paleocene-era mudstone, and over time the sea's waves gradually eroded the softer stone to bring out the hardened spherical formations beneath. While they continue to be eroded today, you thankfully don't have to worry about missing out. After all, they're believed to have about 20,000 more years to go before being worn down to nothing. The Eye of the Sahara. Located in the middle of the Western Sahara Desert in the country of Mauritania, the Eye of the Sahara is a 40-kilometer-wide structure that resembles a giant bullseye. While it was known amongst local nomadic tribes for centuries, it was only in the 1960s that the Western world discovered it after astronauts that were part of Project Gemini spotted it and began using it as a landmark. While it may look like it was carved into the ground, it has natural origins, and while it was first believed to be the result of an impact crater, studies of the rock have shown that erosion was the more likely cause. The Manpapuna Rock Formations. Often considered to be Russia's version of the Moai of Easter Island, the Manpapuna rock formations are tucked away in the northern Ural Mountains. While they may look like the remnants of some long-lost civilization, they are likely naturally occurring. Experts believe that about 200 million years ago, the flat plains where the pillars are located was instead a series of high mountains. Rain, snow, wind, frost, and heat gradually eroded the mountains, and all that's left now are these 7 42-meter-tall towers. While they are worshipped by the local indigenous people, you may have a hard time seeing them yourself. They're located in a remote area just below the Arctic Circle. Wave Rock. While it may look like the design of a crafty architect, Wave Rock does have natural origins. As the name suggests, it resembles a wave, and it comes in at about 15 meters in height and 110 meters in length. It's an example of what geologists call a flared slope, which is something that tends to form at the base of an Inselberg, which is just a fancy name for an isolated rock hill that juts from a plain. Its cool, layered texture of different colored rock gives it a distinct look, and for decades it's attracted tourists. However, in the 1920s, a new addition was made to the wave. That's because the top edge has a low stone wall that is both too flimsy for protection and is too ugly for decoration. Thankfully, it does neither. Rather, it guides rainwater to the nearby Hayden Humps Dam, and overall it helps bring water to people living in an otherwise dry and arid area. It's also worth noting that the wave has quite a bit of spiritual value. That's because the local Balardong people believe that the wave was a creation of the rainbow serpent. The story goes that she made it by dragging her swollen body over the land after she consumed all of the water in the area. In any case, no matter what you believe, what certainly is clear is that the wave is very beautiful and worth a visit on a trip to the Australian outback.